why is Iran so restrained in their response to Israeli actions?
Now, that's an interesting question. Iran has exactly been very restrained. This has caused tremendous problems, political problems, for the newly elected president of Iran, Pezeshkian, who came to office as a moderate in Iranian politics, whose platform was to improve relations with the West, who argued for a renewed dialogue about the nuclear program in Iran and the restoration of the so-called JCPOA, or the nuclear deal with Iran, which President Biden campaigned on restoring and which he didn't do. This man, who was somebody who would have been very worthwhile talking to, is under attack in Iran for having been restrained, and he was. Uh, During his inauguration in Tehran, Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas, the political head of Hamas, was assassinated by Israel. Nasrallah was just assassinated with 86 bunker-busting bombs in Beirut, along with hundreds of other people. This is a residential neighborhood in Beirut. The collateral damage was huge. And Iran basically is restrained. Why? Because it does not want a war with either the United States or with Israel. It is committed to the Palestinian cause, but not to the extent of going to war with Israel. I note that the Tuesday Iranian barrage of missiles at Israel was brief, limited, 180, 200 missiles. Iran immediately announced that it had finished its reprisal. It was not going to continue it. And that was an obvious signal that it did not want a wider war. It wanted an end to the cycle of violence. It has been subjected to repeated assassinations of its scientists and political personnel from Israel. There's a very good book, which I urge those who have not read it to do, and that is called Rise and Kill First. And it is by an Israeli journalist who's very competent and who documents 3,000 Israeli murders of politicians, mostly Arab, some Iranian, some European. This is a classic technique of Israeli policy, and it leads nowhere. And I think Mr. Pezeshkian wanted to break that pattern, but he now will not have the chance because Netanyahu has already said that he will retaliate. He will continue, try to provoke Iran to do something that would bring the United States into the war. And if he can't do it with a direct attack on Iran, he may very well, in the classic Israeli fashion, do it with a false flag operation.